This is that one song that you heard so many times, and every time you hear it, you're like, I'm not gonna bump to this song. But then you start catching a vibe. I'm sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, whoa. East Coast with that gang, gang. You know we don't play games, whoa. Hop up on that wagon, oh please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry, we just stuck up in our ways. West Coast, go ahead, stand up. Put that glass and hands up. Gang, 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 we famed up. Got that change, we bagged up. Crew love, we stay manned up. Ahem like I'm wheezy, yeah. Rap game just too easy, drip so sick, I'm queasy, whoa. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. Yeah. Watch me finesse, walk to the line. Good versus evil, God in his prime. Always in prime, always on time. Our time to shine, wifey is fine. I'm doing fine, glad that you asked. God fill me up, mud in my glass. God clean me up, all that I ask. Wherever you headed there fast. I am ahead, you are in last. Last time I checked, you were all gas. Gas in the whip it up fast. Fast and all furious, I'm starting to spaz. Getting all curious, you put me on blast. Blasting that Darius, kids in the back. Back to the future is black. Black like T'Challa, Wakanda attack. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang.
So let's play.
Yeah. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke,
Yeah,
real mode.
well, we can hold a peace or we can wage war, but I'm gonna get what I came for. Real gang, that's a crew name. We all graduated to the two-door. Sega Global, that's an infrastructure. All y'all niggas like the Titanic. I'm the iceberg, talking no Zucker on the front lines, but we don't panic. Shit getting messy, got nothing to rest, and I'm tired of niggas. They frontin' they blessings, they want my suggestion, but don't want the fee. I'm just doing me, I don't answer their questions. All this flexing, got no one to see. All this aggression, I just want some peace. Not even sure that I like it in heaven. I guess when we get there, then we gon' see. I do not understand, I do not get what you do. You only got one, like what you act like you got two. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do.
He's heating up!
I run with King, but you peasants, you run with the goons.
He's on fire!
Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
Hey, y'all some jokers, y'all a bunch of clowns. You will not get a laugh out of me. You can talk, but you can't denounce. I live a different theology. Why I transferred to a new account? You just fucked over a prodigy. Posted up with a rented crown.
You are the king and apology.
You about to see a new side of me. I hope you know. We stand up and watch our enemy go.
We don't deliver on anything other than truth. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Rilla mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in Rilla mode. I said stay woke, Rilla mode. Stay woke, Rilla mode. I said stay woke, Rilla mode. Stay woke, Rilla mode.
You really have people fooled out here, don't you? When are you peasants gonna learn that you can't pretend to be a king? It ends today.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
I'm afraid I'm self-diagnosing myself with mental illness.
Just like Tess Holiday. Let's fucking go.
I feel like I might be struggling, but I don't want to appropriate anyone's experience.
Hell.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole normal.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing, testicles, testicles. Oh, welcome everyone to episode 23 Hundo and 32 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pincast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustles, and your hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swoleo, back with another episode. Today's episode, the Beastcast, is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2 Flexing on all you be.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Happy Saturday, you fucking swole sluts. Happy Saturday, you motherfucking swole sluts. Happy Saturday, you swole beaches. Happy swole Saturday.
Emotional, damn it!
How we doing, fam? Welcome to the show. We are fresh off a Fefcast and overtime, and obviously Papa Swoleo is all braided and cleaned up, looking sharp as a tack, looking good. Good, I'm feeling good. Feeling right and tight. And of course, we have the Tainty Man in tow. Happy September the 24th. All right. Happy Saturday. So drop in the comments down below. What did you smash? What are you going to smash? I do know that it's a little bit early for some of you. You're like, I'm hungover. You better be hungover with steak and sick fucking gains. So I hope you had a great Friday. I hope you feffed the beesh. I hope you feffed the bullshit out of your life and you're ready for an amazing stream today. Reminder that yesterday's overtime segment is now available inside Swole TV for members, so make sure you go into swolenormousx.com and you check out yesterday's overtime segment. It was fucking awesome. Probably one of the best driving while gainings ever. It's probably one of the best all time. It's one of the all-time driving while gainings. It was fucking awesome. Talk about an epic rant. Holy goddamn fucking shit, bro.
Matt Damon.
Oh my God. Holy shit. I gotta go to the duck. I gotta go to the duck to breathe through it. Jesus Christ. He just ripped one. Why? Oh God, not a good way to start the morning. Oh. Oh, the duck helps so much. Oh. Oh, it kind of hurts. Ugh. Oh. Oh, I'm wide awake now. And I feel nauseous. Let me drink some more coffee. Hold on a second. Holy shit. Dude, do not whip your tail at me. No, that's a bad boy. That's a naughty tainty man. Naughty tainty man. All right, let's just get the show going, because if it's going to be that kind of show today, I'm like lightheaded. That made me dizzy. Oh my God. Taste it. Oh, I could see it too. I feel like it's in my eyeballs. All right, drop in the comments down below. What are you smashing? What's going on, Frank, Brittany, Eric? How we doing? Simberg, what's up? Lacey, Becca, Dawn in the house, Jessica, welcome, welcome, welcome. You can start submitting questions, but also we're going to have some awesome, we got a lot of calls, a lot of shit to go into. But even before we get into the tip, fam, we have Ask Papa Swolio tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. We have our Ask Papa Swolio Live, the Red, White, and Swole Sunday Funday Q&A. So if you have a question, submit it over at askpapaswolio.com. Links also in the description down below. So if you have not yet called in and submitted a question, make sure you do so, because tomorrow we're going to take pure questions. We'll get into some today, but of course on Sundays, that's all we do are questions. So make sure you submit your questions right now. Let's bust the nut open. Fam, are you ready for an amazing stream? I think you are. Let's summon the Falcon with the voice of an angel and get today's party started. Here we go, Falcon. Oh, God damn, it was that beautiful. Thank you, Freddie. Let's fucking go. Thank you, Leo. Cheers, good sir. Fucking drinking 9 o'clock on a Saturday. All right, hashtag Swole Slut. I recommend you drop hashtag triple S. That way you don't get banned from the interwebs. I know. Don't blame me. Blame Susan, okay? So hashtag SSS. It's Swole Slut Saturday. Drop that in the comments down below. Now let's moisturize and get into that tip. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right, so if you're in Florida, who's ready for that? Who's ready for some hurricane action? Who's ready for a hurricane? Who's ready for a hurricane? We haven't had one in a while, but it looks like we might get absolutely raped next Tuesday or Wednesday. So if you're on the west coast of Florida, be mindful, start preparing, make sure you got your generators and your batteries and your food and all that stuff. We got some prep stuff done last night because we were going to beat the rush, and we went to Home Depot and got a bunch of shit. A lot of times the hurricanes turn last minute, but you never want to be unprepared. It's better to have the stuff that you need and not need it, because if we don't use it this year, we'll use it next year. We're not going to, we're going to be here. We're going to be here, but it's been a very light several years. And so if you're in Florida, best wishes. And also keep an eye on it, because if you're on the coast, if you're in like the southeast, it's going to run all the way up if it looks like the way it's going to look. So right now it might be a category 3. Ooh. But here's the thing. I've always said this, that I think Florida is the best. Florida, or anywhere where you're getting I think Florida is the best natural disasters because everywhere in the country you get natural disasters. Either you get tons and tons of fucking snow, or you get mudslides, or you get flash floods, or you get earthquakes. Florida, whenever you have a natural disaster, you get notified like a week and a half in advance. And even then, a lot of times it's like, oh, no disaster. There's never a surprise hurricane. There's never just you wake up and like, oh my God, it's a fucking hurricane. They let you know, hey, they let you know in July for a hurricane, like at the end of August, like, hey, there might be something coming in a couple of weeks, heads up. So the problem is that whenever there's warnings like this and then they don't turn out to be true, it's like the boy who cried wolf. People are like, oh yeah, it's just another thing. But if you live in Florida, you don't really get nervous unless it's like a category 3 or a 4. A 1 is a joke. It really is. It really is. Like a 1 is just, okay, it's going to rain. But once it starts getting like towards a 3, then you're going to be without power. If it hits, you're going to be without power. And of course, if it's like a 4 or 5, it's going to be catastrophic depending on where it hits. So anyway, and a lot of times that stuff is how quickly it's moving. If it's going really slow and it spends a lot of time over the landmass, then it's just causing damage for longer. So anyway, just be mindful. Let's get into today's first Swole Fam post. But I do like those warnings, like, and I love how they give it names as if you're going to invite. I love how they give it names as if you're going to invite it over for dinner. Like, oh, Ian, come on by. It's like, no, call it Hurricane Fuck Yourself. Hurricane Get Fucked. Why do they give it names? Why do they humanize it? Hurricane Bob. Stupid. It's fucking wind. It's wind and rain and disaster. Don't give it a fucking name. Silly. All right, L, just wanted to pop in and share a win with the fam. I'm a full-time firefighter, and today at the station, I had the whole crew complete a Yoga Express class with me. Oh, fuck yeah. I've done yoga at the station before, but never really thought anyone would be interested. Today, someone was. So I told her we could get together in the training classroom and use the TV there for the yoga video. Well, wouldn't you know it, while I was in there setting up the TV, the captain walked in with all our yoga mats from the gym, and the rest of the crew came behind him. Everyone said they really enjoyed it, and I think I might have found a few potential new Swole Fam members. Hashtag Swole Fam, go to the fucking gym, and Swole go. That is awesome. I'm so glad to hear it, and thank you for your service. I like to say the same thing for military, first responders, everyone that runs into danger to protect people. I think that's honorable and essential. So that's fucking awesome. And you know what? Talk about leadership. That's awesome. The captain walked in with all our yoga mats. That's legit. You're having the captain do it. That's legit. That's leadership. The awareness that that's a good thing for his station. That's awesome. Badass. I wish you got a picture of that next time. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And L, I will put this out here. If you send us an email to support@swolenormous.com, if you do have members of your station that are interested in joining, we'll hook it up. We'll hook up with a discount. So make sure you reach out if people are interested. Military, law enforcement, we do that. Fire. If you reach out, we'll take care of you. Okay, let's see. Elizabeth. Here, I didn't think it would happen, fam, but my 16-year-old son woke up just before 5 a.m. to tell me he was off to the gym with his friend. I was so proud, then thought, why the fuck am I still in bed? Got up, worked up her body with some core stability, and now it's a coffee and work time. Definitely switching to gym time before work. Have a great day, and go to the fucking gym. Yow. So this is something that actually Mama Swole and I were talking about. If you just lead by example, she's at work and she's telling me how when people are ordering food and they get healthier food, they come over and they tell her people are always seeking approval. They're seeking approval from their parents, from their peers, from the government, from God. Like, people are always seeking approval. You want to know that you're doing it right. But when you are taking care of your health, it's awesome to see how that rolls into other people, even without you noticing it, even without you realizing it. Just eating healthy around certain people. If you're looking good, if you're taking care of your health, if you're making progress, even if there are people around you that aren't saying it, they notice it. People notice when you're healthy because no one is. relatively speaking. No one's really healthy. No one's really conscious of their health. No one's actively taking care of their health. Come on, we know that. So when you do it, it stands out and people notice and they realize, hey, he or she is getting amazing results and they're doing this. I should do that because then you're leading by example and they're seeing it in front of their face. They're seeing exactly what you're doing. So it's important no matter what to lead by example. And a lot of you ask questions. How do I get my spouse? How do I get my family? How do I get my friends? How do I get my parents? How do I get X, Y, and Z? Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you have to cut those losses. You just have to say they're never going to do it. You have to tighten up your pillar number one. You have to tighten up your community. You have to get rid of the miserable people in your life, regardless of their DNA. And other times, that's what's going to bring them along. And they might not tell you about it, but they're watching. People are watching. Kids are watching. Your kids are watching. Your friends are watching. People watch and people see. People watch and people see. Okay, let's see here. We got one here from pillar number 2, nutrition, on the discussion boards on Swole Normal Sex from Joanne. And Joanne says, not a question, but more of an update on my nutrition progress. I usually don't have a problem with refined sugar products like cake, lollies, soda, etc. I can easily refuse it. I just don't want it normally. So it's never been an issue. If I felt like it on the rare occasion, I would have some, but for the last week and a bit, now I'm really getting into the 90-day dash. I have been craving sugary products. I found myself consuming it almost daily, not once a month or so like usual. I recognize this and it's time for a change. I plan to go none at all as I can clearly no longer regulate this. I think I may need to increase my fruit consumption and probably more fat. I know sugar is one of those things, the more you have, the more you want. So I'm hoping after a few weeks, this new craving issue will disappear. Has anyone else found their body's food cravings change as it become more active? Of course, you're using more energy, you're using more calories, and you need more of certain nutrients. I would recommend electrolytes, more hydration. Sleep can be an issue. And fruit. Add more fruit. Add more quality carbohydrates. Just to get rid of the garbage. There's no problem with getting fructose and glucose when it's in fruit. Have some raw honey. That's not a problem for you. The problem is going to arise when you're going for those processed sugars with vegetable oils and food colorings and all these other things in them. So good for you, Joanne. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Just eat more healthy food. Mark, shout out to the early AM crew that get it in before work, right before the ass crack of dawn. Hashtag early riser. Go to the fucking gym. Fuck your motivation. We do this for it's a spell correct. We do this for the Iron Gods. Indeed we do. Yow, the Iron Gods. Oops. Good shit. And we'll take one more and then we'll get into some questions. This one's from Syringa, from our What's Up Beaches section on the discussion boards on X. Hello, I'm S from Boston. I'm S, Syringa. I have always been active and I thought I ate super healthy, but in the past few years, I put on 35 pounds, ready to lose that and hoping to maybe fix my digestive and skin problems that I have had since I was a teen. Excited to be a part of the Swole fam. Super stoked to have you. I think we can most definitely help you with that. Get that elimination diet, cut out all these inflammatory foods. So Syringa, what you can do is actually drop in the Facebook group or the Telegram chat, get into a little bit more detail of what you're actually eating will help you navigate that elimination diet and make sure that you are cutting out foods that are likely causing those types of problems. Digestive and skin problems, obviously, it's directly related to your nutrition. So a lot of people think that skin is skin. Well, skin is a byproduct of what you're putting in your body. Going after a skin condition with topical creams and shit, you're not solving the problem. You're addressing the symptoms, which is a problem that we see throughout the medical and pharmaceutical and just the sick care system that we are exposed to. Even just stuff at Walmart or CVS, you're just getting things that cover up symptoms, nothing there to actually take care of your health, which is why we want to go to the 7 pillars, why we want to go to the foundation, why we want to address those fundamental things that we can control. And nutrition is everything. Nutrition is everything. Let food be thy medicine, because indeed it is. Indeed it is. Okay. If you have a question, you could drop in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. We shall take a question first from Sibo. Sibo, you are live on the Daily Swole.
Hey, Papa Swolio. I wanted to know if your merch is available in Germany, because I live in Germany. I'm a big fan. And I'm on my way to the fucking gym right now, but I think the pump will be better if I'm wearing your merch.
Siba, I agree. I agree 1000%. Thank you so much for the call. And absolutely, if you go to papaswolio.com, right there at the top, it says we ship worldwide. We send merch to Germany, we've ordered from South Korea, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Norway, Sweden. Like we've been sending shit all around the world. Peru. Like I see these orders come in from everywhere. So absolutely, we ship everywhere in the world, So I appreciate the support, and I do concur that if you go to the gym with some Swolenormous merch, it's definitely going to help the pump. If you go to the gym with a shirt that says "Go to the fucking gym" or "Swole Privilege," obviously you're just going to get absolutely swole. It's just a vicious cycle. Not only that, when you wear the merch, you're going to grow a more robust beard. And then if you grow a more robust beard, you're going to make more sick fucking gains. You make more sick fucking gains. It's going to feed back into the beard. You're going to feed back into the beard. It's a vicious cycle. It's going to go back into the gains, and it just keeps on going. So there's that too. So just keep that in mind.
And that's the way, I like it. Casey on the Sunshine Band.
Right.
I don't know how to put this.
Let's take some more questions.
But
good question.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Papaswolio.com. And remember, papaswolio.com, use code DailySwole for 10% off. 10% off. Let's see here. Jessica ST, Papaswolio, what's a good alternative to pull-ups? So far, I'm using free weights and trying to mimic the movement of a pull-up until I can get gym access. Is there a better alternative? Alternative, there's no replacement for a pull-up. Aside from pulling up, there's no replacement. You can get a TRX, you can get suspension and do like an inverted row with like a table or chairs. You can do that. There's no movement that really mimics a pull-up. You can hit the lats like dragging a dumbbell or a kettlebell towards you from like a prone position. But a good alternative to pull-ups. If you just use free weights, if you have any kind of TRX or suspension trainer or like a bar that you can put between like chairs or benches, you can do an inverted row, which is kind of like a mimicking of it's not the same angle, but you can definitely hit similar muscles. So that's a great way to progress to doing a pull-up. So in terms of like what muscle you're trying to hit, there really is no replacement for doing a pull-up aside from doing body weight like inverted rows with a TRX or with a bar with like on a barbell on a rack or a Smith machine, something like that. What access to weights do you have? Let's put it that way. Gym access, do you have a doorway? You can get one of those pull-up bars for a doorway. Those things really work well. You just hook them over the frame. If you have access to that, you could do isometrics and negatives at home and put a pillow underneath or a chair. Like you can really do that at home. What's the limitation for getting a pull-up? Like, can you get those bars are like $20 too? Just saying. Yes, Lacey says, ladies, the merch does not include beard. It doesn't include, no, not for women. Not for women. Not for ladies. Not for ladies. No beard for the only for the men. Only for the men. It will stimulate beard growth. Thank you for the clarification. Appreciate it. Simberg, Papaswolio, what's up, fam? I'm wondering how hard smoking weed impacts training progression. Average 1 joint a day. If you look into it, marijuana is estrogenic, so it's definitely not a benefit to how much or how intensely it will negatively affect you. Being, binding to estrogen receptors, that I'm sure depends. I'm not an expert on that, but I do know that things like soy, flax, lavender, marijuana, like a cannabis, like those things will definitely they're estrogenic. So I think it probably depends on what happens. Like when you're smoking, if it's knocking you out, if you're doing a little bit, it's all risk reward, right? It's really hard nowadays, unless you're living in the middle of the fucking woods and you're homesteading and doing everything yourself. It's really hard to eliminate all microplastics and all estrogens. It's really hard to eliminate everything. But if you're struggling with progress and you're not seeing the results you want, it's important to take it to that next level. I would recommend looking into, well, it doesn't matter if you're doing it afterwards. It's still estrogenic. I would look into that There's a book in the bookstore that we have on my Amazon store. You can look it up. It's called Estrogeneration. It's going to go through all the things you should be looking at and addressing. It has a great list, like a top 10 list, where, it talks about hand soaps, talks about dryer sheets and shampoos and conditioners and perfumes and fragrances. It talks about all those parabens and phthalates and, birth control. It goes into all those details as to why they are detrimental to human health and reproduction and the entire endocrine system. So anything that's estrogenic is going to negatively affect all the organs in the body in terms of the endocrine system. So this is why people are having so many thyroid problems, reproductive problems. I mean, it's across the board. And the thing is, it's not like you're just eating an estrogen cake. It's that you're getting it in low doses in all these different products, everything. And that's just one of them. So in terms of how much it's going to impact, alcohol is a detriment, cannabis is a detriment. But in terms of how much, right? If you're doing really well with everything else, you have to make your own choices, right? So I'm not here to tell you what to do, but that's just the information that I have. Good question. Tyler, can coconut oil or any other natural oils be good for the skin or hair? Coconut oil can clog the pores, so I would not put that on your skin. I use jojoba oil, and I've talked about this before. A lot of seed oils or different plant sources have phytoestrogens in them. So I'm not sure. I'm trying to find information. So a lot of them, I think they all do, but the quantity or the impact is going to vary. For example, soy, flax, lavender is going to be higher quantities, but then you have something like, I haven't found any information on jojoba oil, but that oil most closely mimics your natural skin oil. So that's what I use. And I'm trying to find more information on maybe those other potential concerns with the estrogenic nature of it. I haven't found anything yet, so I'm open to if anyone comes across anything. But that's what I use. That's what I use on my body. You could also use beef tallow. There's moisturizers, they're not cheap, but I have one here. Obviously, it's a very small container. You can get it on Amazon, but this is probably like $20. This is not cheap. So, I mean, to put this all over your body, you would go through this really quickly. But it's just 100% grass-fed beef tallow and cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil. And this is what I put on my hands or my, that's why sometimes I'll have like a little white chunk here. Like right before the show, I'll do this. And I'm like, we go live and I'm like, oh, shit, I got it in my beard. So I'll use this because I'm not going to put the lip stuff. That's all chemicals. You're just like eating that shit. But jojoba oil is perfect for skin. I put on my hair too. So you can use it everywhere. Put it on my face. And most like face products and oils and stuff like that have jojoba oil in it. And that's all I use. I know. I don't want to give it up either. I don't think there's any negative down. I mean, it's so good. It's so good. I don't see it being negative, but you never know. You never know. All right, let's see here. Question. Let's get another call here. Take a few more. This one's from Abhishek. Hopefully I can understand what you're saying. You're on the line.
Do you have proper bowel movement with the abs you got? I heard it's a problem.
Damn, I'm going to have to take another pass on that. Say bowel movement? Can anyone else translate or pick that up? Hold on, let's do it one more time.
Do you have proper bowel movement with the abs you got? I heard it's a problem.
Did you say, do you have a proper bowel movement with the abs that I have? I heard it's a problem. If that's what you said, my bowel movements are just fine. I don't know if that's what was said. So I apologize if I don't understand. Proper bowel movements with abs. I'm totally good. No problems. No problems here. All right, let's see. Shannon, Papa Swolio, if we forget our lunch, what would you suggest to get out and about? Why would you forget your lunch? Preparation. Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Either you could fast. Nothing wrong with that. Totally fine. I don't know what you have access to. Protein, fat. I mean, the quality of what you're going to be able to get out and about is probably not going to be good. So it really depends on what's around you in your area. And I don't know what your time frame is. If you're if there's stuff around you and you only have 30 minutes or something. But fasting is good for you. Fasting is good for the body. It's really good. It's okay to, you can meditate instead of eating lunch. Remember that it's not just that you're hungry. You're just used to eating at certain times. So your body will kind of trigger like, hey, you're hungry. Even if you're not, you don't need nutrition all the time. So the body is going to get triggered like, oh, you're hungry just because you're used. If you're eating at 12 noon, let's see if you're eating, I'm just saying, if you're eating at 12 noon every day, you're going to get hungry at 12 noon every day. If you literally start eating at 12, like clockwork, guess what's going to happen when it gets close to 12? You're like, oh, your body's like, hey, we're getting food now, right? This is what happens. So it's also the timing. Your body gets used to the timing of nutrition, not just actual, like, hey, we need nutrients. So I don't know what you have around you. So that would help tremendously if you know what you have around you. Midnight Rider 1250, Papa Swole, can you talk about the unrealistic pursuit of obtaining and maintaining an extremely low body fat percentage? Is it healthy and sustainable? No, you just answered you gave me the answer. Can you talk about the unrealistic pursuit of obtaining and maintaining extremely low body fat percentage? Is it healthy and sustainable? You just told me that it's not. I mean, everyone's going to maintain different. So can I talk about the unrealistic pursuit? It's not required for health to be extremely low body fat. You already have the answer. It's not. Some people will naturally be, and people distribute body fat differently on their body. So one person that's 12% or 15% might look different than someone else who's 15%. Some people might hold it more in their legs. Some people might hold it more in their arms or their midsection. And that has to do with hormones and epigenetics and things like that. So if the problem is you're seeing a lot of stuff on Instagram and TikTok, you're seeing a lot of people that are bodybuilders and or they're juicing. But I will tell you that as someone who's, relatively lean, I don't try to be leaner and leaner and leaner, but I'm lean. I'm lean. When I am training in the sun and I'm exercising and I'm pumped, I look like I'm on sauce. Especially if you go on camera and I look fucking pumped. And remember, cameras can add, depending on the lens, depending on the lighting, so if I'm out in the sun, I'm pumped up, it's hot, I'm sweaty, I'm glistening, I'm tan, like I'm going to look fucking shredded and I'm going to look like I'm juicing because the blood vessels are kind of coming to the surface, trying to cool off the blood. My body's trying to cool off. That's why it's giving up so much heat and so much water. So it's very easy on camera, post pump in the sun, to look like you're juicing. And a lot of people take pictures when they're in the gym with good lighting. They'll take a picture of a video. They'll take a video in the mirror. So the mirror is distorting the image. You have shadow, you have lighting, you have like dim lighting, you have like, so a lot of times on social media, you'll see people that take videos in the mirror of them. And it's just, it's not accurate. It's not accurate. A lot of people will look like they're juicing out of their mind or ready to get on stage when they're in the gym with the pump. That's why bodybuilders backstage, before they get on stage, they're lifting, they're getting a pump backstage. So it's definitely not sustainable. It's not sustainable. I mean, can you get there? Sure. But if you go too low, if you're doing it naturally and you're going really low body fat, you're going to crash out. You're going to feel flat. You're going to get exhausted. You're going to feel drained. You're going to have joint pain. You're going to have any number of issues. So don't equate lean to healthy. Lean isn't healthy. I mean, lean to a point isn't healthy. So you have to find out what's maintainable. This is why I don't count calories. This is why I don't over obsess with my body fat percentage. I want to know what I can eat to feel great, to perform great. And then I look and then I match that up with like, oh, I look this certain way. This is probably a good pairing. If I look a certain way, I'm training hard and I feel good and I have all this and this is the way I look. Cool. It's healthier to hold a little more body fat. For each individual person, it's healthier to hold a little bit more than when you're completely shredded. But we get twisted because you'll see, and remember, we always talk about this with social media. If you're scrolling on social media, you only have, 4 or 5 inches on a screen. That's what she said.
Because
come on, 4 or 5 inches is enough, fam. 4 or 5, it's enough. It's enough. It really is. So when you're scrolling, you can scroll through 100 people on Instagram. And it seems like you're scrolling through everyone in the world. Like, oh my God, I'm scrolling for 40 minutes and all I see are people that are ripped, that are pumped, that are jacked. Like, holy shit, everyone's fucking in better shape than me. when in reality, you only looked through, let's say 100 people. That would take you a while. 1, 2, 3. But in your head, you're thinking, I'm just looking at everyone that's ripped and muscular and strong and shit. But in reality, what is that? 50 people, 100 people on Instagram? So you're seeing like the 0.100000000000001% of the people that work out of the people that are in the entire world. So you're looking at a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent of all the people that work out. And that's not even, and there's 7.5 billion people in the world. So you're seeing only the highest, the very rare, and they're usually saucing and they're sponsored and all they do is train. And for the most part, that's what I do. I train, I create content for X, we do the podcast. So, but I've created this for myself and I've always been into fitness. So this is like my main focus is training, and that's my life, my day, and I enjoy it. So that's what my days surround. I mean, I was still looking the same and training when I was still training clients and stuff, when I was still had other scheduling limitations, but it's important to understand what's healthy versus what's, leaner is not better in itself, being too high of a body fat percentage is not good. But I mean, if you're talking is 17% versus 15%, there's no health difference there. Like if I drop 2% body fat, am I getting healthier? That's probably not. Probably not. Tyler, Papa Swole, this may be a Matt Damon. Well, I'm going to hit that anyway.
Matt Damon.
If any of you say it may be a Matt Damon, if any of you say it's going to be, I'm going to hit Matt Damon anyway. God damn it, Rufus, you fucking nasty bitch. That was a light one, though. Oof. It was like a Coke Zero of farts. Now it's getting more and more intense. Oh, God. Maybe a Matt Damon, since we're surrounded by a lot of artificial lighting and noises. How can we be better aware of it? Does this negatively affect the body and mind? Absolutely. I hate noise pollution. So that's one of the major things that I don't like about where I live. That there's like a little bit of like a low constant like background. I hate that shit. That's why noise deprivation tanks are really beneficial. You can get earplugs and stuff like that, but it's not quite the same as, quiet and hearing the wind through the trees and things like that, to hear like low level traffic, even if it's slow, it's not good. It's definitely stressful. And it keeps your, as humans for evolution, we haven't evolved to have that constant stress. So you have a heightened activation of your sympathetic nervous system all the time, which is not good. Keeps cortisol levels elevated and things like that. Artificial lighting is also garbage, which is why blue light, but there's technology that can supersede that. You can get blue blocking glasses. You can get the yellow glasses that block out all the blue light. There's ways to get around it. That's why you have to be vigilant. You can't just be passive. Otherwise you're going to be a victim to it. When I say a victim, you're going to be susceptible to it. Gary, do you ever autograph items for sale? My buddy at the fire station lost 50 pounds and I sent him your videos almost every day to motivate him. I appreciate it. You can send us an email to support@swolenormous.com with what you have in mind. We do the signature series. We do the Papa Swolio signature series, actually, which will be, I think it's actually starting to ship. So we do that every 100 episodes where we have a t-shirt and a tank, and it's a print, but it's an individual, it's a unique signature on each one, and it's a unique design for each one. And those go on sale every 100 episodes. So we just dropped P3S4. So the next one is on episode 2400. We sell them for 24 hours. So check that out. Also, let's see here. All right. We got so many questions. Let's do one more call and then we'll get into, Anthony, you're on the line.
Hey, Papa Swolio. So I have a question for you.
Phony.
I know that you speak against all these household products that we're using, these non-environmental friendly products, and I'm on the same page with you 100%. Completely agree. These body washes, these body sprays, deodorants, etc. So I was just curious. I haven't really heard you speak of, at least not recently. I'm kind of a new listener. What do you use as alternatives then in that case? Is there certain products you do recommend? I'd be curious to hear. Thanks so much.
Yeah, dude. Perfect. We were just talking about that, and really great question. Thank you for calling in, Anthony. Appreciate it. I recommend, well, first off, you want to look for, you generally want to stay away with things that have like fragrances and X, Y, and Z, but you want to make sure you're looking for products that say paraben free, phthalate free. You definitely don't want any of these, these issues or any of these like benzenes. Like you don't want any of these products on your body. So a lot of times products will also start advertising that because a lot more people are in demand of it. So when people wanted more organic food and didn't want all those like glyphosate and things like that, the organic industry started exploding. So you're starting to see more phthalate free because it's becoming more popular in order to satisfy demand. If people demand it, and that's why you see grass-fed beef so many places, because if people are demanding it, then there's openings for businesses and people can solve a need, and then you're going to create businesses around it. So the more people get aware of these things, the more they're going to demand these products, and the more products like that you're going to see. So not only that, phthalate free, and also things like BPA free. BPA free doesn't mean that it's healthy. BPA free means it could have BPF. It could be BPAS. So these things are actually the same or worse than BPA. So BPA free means, okay, it doesn't have BPA, but also has bisphenol F. It has other bisphenols in there that are going to be a problem. So you really want to stay away with anything, especially hot liquids in plastics. You don't want to microwave plastic, all those things. Beef tallow. You could have beef tallow or olive oil and things like that as a base for moisturizers. Make sure that you're looking for any kind of soaps or shampoos. Stay away from hand sanitizers, especially with triclosan, that's estrogenic. You want to make sure that you're getting phthalate free, paraben free, all these things in terms of shampoos, deodorants. I think Native makes a good deodorant, but at the same time, it raises the question, do you want to, like, I don't use deodorant. Like I don't, rarely, if ever. But just because, why would you want to block your ability to sweat? It's a very I know you don't want to sweat, but a lot of times your scent is a byproduct of eating garbage. If you're eating garbage food all the time, you're going to smell like absolute dog shit. This is how it's going to work. You will give off terrible odors. Your endocrine system won't be functioning properly. You're going to have a lot of imbalances. So you want to make sure that you are eliminating a lot of these products. So I think Native is a good brand. I have some, I forget what the ingredients are, but no aluminum, no phthalates, no parabens, things of that sort. I think you were talking about other things. Moisturizer, jojoba oil is excellent. Like I said, for example, this is called Vintage Tradition. I got it on Amazon. It's grass-fed beef tallow and extra virgin olive oil. So you can check that out. I'm not sure what other sizes. And some of these products are more expensive because higher quality ingredients, you're going to pay more for them. But as they get more popular, as people demand more of these things, of course, price goes down because you have more competition. So hopefully over time, you can spread the message more and more that will bring these companies more in the forefront. Also, yeah, Dr. Squatch, I don't know what they have. I don't know what's in there, but that could be a good product also. So I would recommend also, Anthony, to check out the book Estro Generation. That's going to explain what to avoid. Things like plastic shower curtain liners, dryer sheets. You just want to make sure that those products that you're using, we don't use dryer sheets. We use no fragrances, no dyes in terms of the laundry detergent, hand soaps. Make sure you, like, all these things it all matters. It all matters. And the problem is a lot of times these things are, even if it's phthalate and paraben free, then it comes in some kind of plastic. It's like, we're fucked no matter where you go. It's really hard. If you can find it in glass, that's great. Or in wax paper, that's ideal. But I get grass-fed beef and it comes like in it's sealed in plastic or whatever the fuck it is. So it's really hard to avoid all of it, but you can do better. But of course, if something's in plastic, you want to make sure it's not heated because that's going to make it, or it's not in UV light because that's the worst. If you have, plastic containers and they're sitting in the heat or they're sitting in your car, it's just leaching. It's just leaching into the water, into the fluids. So it's really hard. It's really frustrating when you're aware of all these things. When you're aware of all these things and you can't stop all of it. You can't source all of it. You have to kind of, like, for me, I have to kind of turn some of this stuff off in my head because it'll drive you insane. I know all the things that are negatively affecting me. I could turn off the Wi-Fi router in my house, but there's still other people that have Wi-Fi around me. Like, there's all these different things that it's like, you can only do so much. You can't drive yourself insane. And it depends. It depends on how far you want to take it, but it's definitely valuable and it definitely makes an impact. So you have to do the best that you can. And this is not an excuse to not do anything. A lot of people say, oh, well, there's so much stuff to do. I can't do any of it. Of course you can. Most people dramatically underestimate how much of a negative impact it is. It's a very serious negative impact. So if you're doing very well, if you're being aware of it and you're making positive changes and you're eliminating a lot of these things from your environment, it's going to make a big difference, because a lot of the problems are these low level exposures in all these products across the board all the time, day in and day out. So it's not just you're eating, like I said, it's not that you're eating a soy burger. It's that you're putting on deodorant in your armpits and you're putting on this lotion all over your body. And these all have phthalates and parabens and all these, and you're putting on sunscreen, which is cooking and binding to your estrogen receptors. And this sunscreen's garbage. Just put on a fucking shirt or wear a hat, or don't go out in the sun nonstop. Go in the shade a little bit. You don't need sunblock, just block the sun. And then you have, what was I saying, shampoos, and like I said, dishwashing, and then you're drinking out of a plastic bottle, and then you're putting Tupperware. It's just these low levels exposure all the time. But things like a Hydro Flask. I mean, this says, the top is BPA free, but I unscrew it and drink, because BPA free doesn't mean, and you can maybe find out or contact the company, but it says BPA free. Then people are like, oh, it's safe, BPA. And then you're drinking hot liquid. It's like, well, it also has those other bisphenols. So you're still getting the same problem, or worse, because they're worse than the BPA. So making sure that you are, putting your water, your liquids in stainless steel, all that type of stuff. Ways to make dramatic improvements. Okay, let's get into some great questions, fam. Remember, if you have a question, submit it over at askpapaswolio.com. We have a lot more calls that we're not going to be able to get to. This show's going to start turning into like a 2-hour show. We got so many questions, but tomorrow we'll try to run a train on all of them. So thank you for being here. Let's go balls deep, beaches. We got some shit posts to get into. We got to get into some more important stuff, right?
That's deep.
All right. Here we go. Let's see. Reminder, askpapaswolio.com is where you can submit those questions. Woo, super zoomed in. All right, let's get into some fun. Let's loosen up a little bit. Let's loosen up. Good questions. Good questions here. All right. Pick a number one. Holy shit. No. All right, pick a number 1, 2, 3, or 4. I just saw a thumbnail. It was bad. 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's a little tainty. Where's the tainty reprieve? Where's Tainty Man? There you go. Oh, there he is. There he is. Aww. It is so cute. Keep that tail covered. And what you were saying before, like, what is he eating? Dogs don't usually get gas from raw. That's true. But he's also outside in the yard eating whatever's in the fucking grass. He sniffs around. He's like eating a lump of, so he's eating, I don't even know what the fuck he's eating. He eats a lot of other shit. He'll chew if there's a towel on the ground, sometimes he'll chew a towel. So it's like, I'm sure he might be getting gas from eating cotton. Like, I don't know what the fuck he's eating. He's a tracking dog too. So he's always sniffing. And so who the fuck knows what he's eating in the grass? Eating a stick. I'm sure he can get the fart from eating a stick. Who knows? Getting his fiber. All right. Let's see. Ooh, Simberg, number 4, septum piercing, teacher, and ableism. Respectable choices. Well, number 4, we'll choose number 4. I think this is a big miss, unfortunately, but it's called size inclusivity, and it looks like this is on an airplane. And the text on the screen says, this guy was about 6'5". Shame on you, EasyJet. Is that an airline? EasyJet?
I see y'all are all about advocating for more size inclusivity on planes and other spaces when it's not about fat people. Because, I mean, good for y'all. The comments on this video are like, thanks for speaking on this. Like, the seats need to be bigger. Like, people are taller and people have different needs. The second.
Can you make the music louder, please? I can't hear the music. Can you make it louder? I'm about to stop this video. Okay. People that make content online, can you not play it at full volume while you're trying to talk over it? Yeah, you have a nose piercing, but it's not a septum piercing. It's close.
Anyone in the fat community gets on this app and says, hey, bigger seats would be nice. It's immediately, maybe you don't need so much then, fatty. I don't want to sit by someone who's fat. It's just like I pay the seat and like they just... Like the energy is very different and y'all really need to think... Like, it's the same thing. People have different bodies. A lot of bodies can't control if they're bigger. Just like a lot of bodies can't control if they're tall.
I didn't hear anything she was saying. I have no fucking idea. That was a terrible video. That was awful. I guess she was saying something about fat people. Something about fat people, and I'm complaining online so fat people can feel better about being fat rather than change their fatness. Okay, so that's probably what it was, right? You can't control being 6'5". You can control being 6 feet around your body. Let's put it that way. Pick a number, 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3. Here we go. Let's get
I got hairy legs.
All right.
Emotional damage.
All right. Well, if you're too tall, you can't go on certain rides, or you can fly first class, or you can not fly. They make these things called cars or trucks or buses. Maybe that will be more convenient for you. You know what's interesting? These fatties are always talking about, size inclusivity for a plane. But have you ever gone on one of those buses, those coach buses? Those things aren't, it's the same size seat pretty much. It's not comfortable. They're trying to fit as many people on a bus. That way they can make the most money because you pay for a seat. You pay for a seat. If you only have, this is why a private jet is expensive. If you want to fly somewhere, it might be $20,000 because there's like room for 8 people. Yeah, if you only have 8 people on the plane, it's going to be an expensive ticket. But if you can fit 200, well, then you can pay $200 a seat. Does that make sense? Oh my God. Paying for a private jet is more expensive than a regular plane. It's capitalism. Yes, it is. And that's the only reason why you're able to TikTok all day, you gunch. All right. Steven, exit rows give more leg room. Problem solved. Ah, yes, but then you can't put the seat back. Oh, no. Steven, that's comfortism. That's comfortism. Yeah, Steven's a comfortist. You can't put your seat back. You see what I'm saying? All right, Stephanie Vili. Number 2, weird glasses, racism, and patriarchy. All right. Weird glasses. Oh, Jesus Christ. Holy shit. That's not the only thing. Tip of the iceberg. There's glasses. They're not weird, but yo, get ready for this fucking shit. Answering a question on TikTok, you do realize thin people also develop body dysmorphia. Okay. Cool story, Hansel. Let's get into it.
Why do y'all value the feelings of thin people over the lived experiences of...
Okay.
What the fuck is that?
So this is Fat Fab Feminist. So we have... I don't know. You guys can unpack that yourself.
Why do y'all value the feelings of thin people over the lived experiences of fat people? You may...
Okay, I'm going to make a shirt that says, fuck your lived experience. Because everyone on Earth, there's 7.5 billion lived experiences. It means nothing. The lived experience. Okay, you're on Earth too. Welcome. Welcome to consciousness. Stay a while. You should probably get healthier so you can stay a while. Otherwise, you're not going to stay too long. That's all it is. Oh, your lived experience. Well, I have a lived experience too. So does anyone who's alive. It's the stupidest thing ever. Your lived experience.
Feel fat, but I am fat. I live as a fat person every single day. Your feeling does not determine the way people treat you. Feeling fat doesn't determine if a doctor is going to believe you in your symptoms.
Let me tell you. Okay, so we're going back to the feel fat thing. It's a descriptive term and it makes sense. People usually mean they're bloating, they're usually inflamed, or they usually have like discomfort. Okay, it's fine. You can feel fat, you can feel bloated. So maybe it's not the most accurate term, but doesn't mean that you have the right to be offended or to be sensitive. Like the scale that you step on or don't step on, or she probably has to go to like a truck stop. Yeah, we know you're fat. We can see. Okay? We can see what's going on here. So a doctor is not judging you A doctor is assessing you. If you walked into my office and I'm a doctor and you walk in at 450 fucking pounds, methinks there's going to be some correlation. Methinks there's a correlation between your lifestyle habits and whatever the fuck is ailing you. You're going to come in and talk about pain or this or what in the shit have you been doing? Let me tell you, it's not your thyroid. It's whatever you're doing that's fucking up your thyroid. For real. For real. If you expect a doctor to not address the fact that you literally are 400 easy, you are out of your fucking mind. You're out of your mind. That doctor, if they don't address the fact that you're morbidly obese, they should lose their fucking license.
Feeling fat doesn't determine if you're going to get hired for a job, get a promotion, get fired for being too fat. Feeling fat doesn't mean that you're not able to find clothes in a store that fit over your body.
Why are you so offended by what people are saying? You should be more offended by your lifestyle habits. That's it. Feeling fat doesn't keep you from getting a promotion. Okay. Feeling fat doesn't allow you to fly through the air and shoot rainbows out of your asshole either. Like, what are you trying to get at? You're not making an argument. This is not justifying your existence. This is not justifying your, like, you can do what you want. It's not going to end well. But this is not like, hey, you know what? You're right. You're just beautiful the way you are.
You may feel fat, but there are fat people who live and exist. Why are you...
No shit. Have you gone outside? Have you been to Walmart? Have you been to Walmart lately? Goddamn right.
Huge bitch.
Are you telling me fat people exist? Get the fuck out of here.
That's fucking bullshit.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Never seen one. Doesn't happen.
Feelings worth more than my experience, than my life. Not to mention, fat people also get body dysmorphia. What is your answer then?
Go to the fucking gym? Okay. Jesus. So you find one thing that you can maybe leverage and you get angry at that. What are you doing? Nothing has changed. You're still morbidly obese. You're still unhealthy. You still have insulin resistance. You still have metabolic syndrome. You're still like grotesquely obese. Okay. So nothing has changed. You just ranted for a little bit. How we doing with that? How's everything going?
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball.
But my lived experience. We all have lived experiences. Every single person has a lived experience. Okay. But we all live in a shared reality. I mean, I shouldn't say we all live in a shared reality. We all live on Earth. I don't know what reality you're living in. So you made that video and you're still 450. Okay. Instead of running your mouth, you should go for a walk. Okay, Jenny. Okay. Okay, Jenny.
My name's Forrest Gump.
All right, let's do another. Boomba. Let's do another one. I think do we have time? We probably have time we got time for one more. We'll do this other one. I guess we have to save it for Tuesday. Let's do this one. We got one more. I'm going to call it. We're going to do this is not a failed thin person. Okay. It's not about being thin. Okay. This argument that I'm seeing everywhere, and we covered a lot on the show, the argument that just because you're thin doesn't mean you're healthy. Sure. Just because you're 7 feet tall doesn't mean you're an NBA player. Just because you're thin doesn't mean you're healthy. Fine. But if you're fat, you're definitely not healthy. That's true too. That's also true. So if you're thin, it's not about being thin. It's about having bone density and muscle mass and being healthy. You can be a drug addict or anorexic. You can have a lot of problems, or alcoholic. You can have a lot of problems and not be visually obese. So that doesn't justify, does not make it an argument. So this is titled Not a Failed Thin Person. So it's like, you are not a failed thin person. irrelevant. Misdirection. Like, no, you're a fat person. You're not healthy. Why are you comparing yourself to... It's like, I am not a failed tall person. What? I'm not a failed beardless person. Okay. You could be healthy with a beard and healthy without a beard. I mean, you're not going to look as good, but I mean, come on. No. Who told you could eat my cookies? All right. You get the point. You get the point. You can make any of these arguments. It's drama. It's bullshit. Not a failed thin person. Let's hear what this.
I really needed this reminder today, so here's your reminder that if you're fat, you're not a failed thin person.
Okay, why do you have to do this in panties? Why do you have to do this like half naked? Why does this video have to be... You're very empowering. This is not empowering. You are not a failed thin person. I just did.
You are not a potentially thin person. That is...
You're an unhealthy person. You're a potentially healthy person. You have potential, but let's not address it.
not why you exist. You are allowed to just be fat. You are allowed to be fat and wear...
Okay, you're allowed to be fat. I'm going to pull this apart one string at a time. You're allowed to be fat. Okay, yeah, you're allowed to be average. You're allowed to be a victim. You're allowed to complain on TikTok. You're allowed to be pathetic. You're allowed. Okay? I don't care so much. I don't care about your body weight the way I care about your mindset. We have people that are technically obese and overweight in the Swole fam, but you're not pussy bitches. You're not complaining all the time. You're doing the best that you can. It's a mindset. Like, you're not a failed thin person. You have the right to exist. You're allowed to be fat. No shit. It's called freedom. And it's called freedom to speak, freedom to do what you want. So as much as I'm saying all this, I wish you have to want this for yourself. The problem is when you play the victim, you get some love and attention. So then you double down and triple down and you keep on hashtagging body positivity online to get more followers and more likes. And that becomes your way to feel valuable and to have purpose in this world, which is a false feeling of security. It's this false community. So, I mean, you can justify it any way you want and you have the freedom to do so, but it doesn't change reality. It's not making you healthier. It's not making you a stronger, more resilient person. It's not making you any more anti-fragile. It's doing quite the opposite. You're doubling down on not putting in effort. Like, oh, you're so righteous for doing nothing. You're so righteous for being average and not excelling and not developing yourself as an individual. It might sound harsh, but fine. It can sound however you want it to sound. If you get offended by what I say, it's because you're taking offense. It's because you are internalizing it the way you want to. That's it.
Makes you feel good. You're allowed to be fat and have fun and experience joy and do things that you want to do.
Fun, experience joy. Why does being fat have to be the product of experiencing joy and having fun? It's the most retarded thing I've ever heard. And yes, I said retarded. It's retarded. That's exactly what it is. You're allowed to be fat. You're allowed to have fun and experience joy. Why is that associated with being fat? It has nothing to do with it. I experience joy. I have fun. I don't have to be fat to have fun. What is experiencing joy? You mean stuffing your face. That's what you mean. You mean mouth pleasures. You mean instant gratification from eating food, having fun. Experiencing joy from cookies. That's what you're talking about. Has nothing to do with experiencing joy. That's fucking gross. That's gross. That's the grossest thing about this video, what you just said.
And you aren't supposed to be a certain body weight or body size.
You're also not supposed to be morbidly obese. There's no reason for this. It's because you live in a world of excess. You live in a toxic environment that you're not regulating. You're not taking control of. You're probably not educated on it. I get it. Most people aren't. I wasn't until, several years. And, I'm always learning every day. But I mean, have fun staying the same and trying to justify your existence rather than doing better. Good luck.
Yeah, that's it. I needed the reminder today, and I figured maybe someone else did too.
Oh, yeah. This is not a therapist couch. This is TikTok. You could do better. Please do better. Please stop making videos. Please stop. Talk about clean your fucking room. Clean your room. Mow your lawn. Jordan Peterson would be all over that. He'd be like, you really have to clean your room, man. It's so obvious. All right. That wasn't bad. That was my first Jordan Peterson impression. On the cuff. Off the cuff. All right. It's so easy. It's just so much. It's so much easier to complain and to whine than to actually make changes. And I do understand that. It's not easy or convenient. Like we talked about this, like that book with all these. Come on, you're going through and you have soaps, you have shampoos, you have conditioners, you have lotions, you have colognes, you have deodorants. There's a lot there's a lot around. There's a lot of toxic shit around you. And then you have women that are just popping fucking literal birth control. That shit is poison. That is so bad. It's so bad. But no one just wants to fucking not fuck. No one wants to just not have sex. You're actually literally just taking estrogen. So there's a lot of issues and there's a lot of reasons why people have struggle with weight loss. It's generational as well. There is epigenetics. There is like genetic scarring that negatively affects future generations, which is why it's very important for parents and for people to take care of their health. Not everything can be solved instantly, but this self-development, this progress that is on you to make. Why should it be easy? Why is it supposed to be easy? Just because one person has more muscle mass and maybe less body fat doesn't mean there aren't other things in their life that they're struggling with that maybe you don't struggle with. You might be obese, but you might have other things in your life in better order. So it's like everyone's going to have their struggle. Everyone's going to have their burden to bear. Everyone has their own trauma, their own regrets. Everyone has their own decades of, everyone, like, you can't go back in time. You can't change the past. So it would be nice. Shit, I would love to go back and start doing more mobility when I first started lifting. I would like to go back in time and practice yoga earlier. Okay, well, you can't. So the question is, are you going to complain and bitch and moan about where you are? Or are you going to get to work and actually invest time and energy and constantly and consistently ameliorate and learn and develop as an individual and put the onus on yourself and learn and apply. Don't just give up because it's a challenge. Don't just give up because the going gets tough. Why can some people lose 200 fucking pounds in 2 years and other people are like, I'm just fat I'm just the way I am. It's my lived experience. I don't have to justify. I don't have to lose weight for you. It's my lived experience. I'm fat and I can still experience joy. And why? How come some people lose 200 pounds in 2 years? Or whatever it is, or 50 pounds, or 100 pounds. Some people and other people, but my experience. Yeah, what about their experience? It's nonsense. It's nonsense. And instead of looking at those transformations and be like, that person is an inspiration to me. That person, I need to step up. If they can do it, I can do it. They're like, no, before and after pictures are fat phobic. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. Stop being pathetic. Stop being a whiny beesh. And if the truth or these facts offend you, you're welcome to it. You're welcome to be offended. You have my permission. You don't need my permission to be offended, obviously. We have no shortage of that kind of content. So you are free to be offended. Absolutely free to be offended. But notice that it's not necessarily me offending you because a lot of people say shit about me. Do I cry myself to sleep? Do I stop doing what I'm doing? No, I don't. I keep on going forward. But you have to find the virtue in the purpose. If you are, again, if you're a fat activist and you're like, I don't care what anyone else says, I'm going to keep on moving forward. You know, there is objective morality there. There is objective truth. There is objective, you know, virtue with depending on what your choices are. So, and that's still opinion. And we can have an argument and discussion about it. I think it's pretty clear cut. And I'm not saying that anyone has to change and do things the way I do it. That's never what I'm saying. Like, you need to do things the same way. You can't say those things. I'm glad with you saying it. It gives me content to rage about every day. Right? It's a great example of what not to do, which can be very inspirational and can be very, we don't use the word motivation, but it can be very inspiring or motivational. It can be a driving factor. And like, I am never going to be like that person. So it's good for an example of what not to do. And we do the Swole fam posts and we do the Ask Papa with the knowledge cock portion. So we go over posts of things like, this is what you should be doing. Swole fam's crushing it. And then we show examples of what not to do. So that could be inspiring. Don't be like that person. Don't look like that person. Don't act like that person. Don't emulate that person. This is what to avoid. If you hear these things in your circle around you, cut that out like abort that shit. Abort those ideas. Get rid of that. Avoid like the plague. It's an infection. Avoid the unhappy, avoid the unlucky. That's one of the 48 laws of power. Get rid of those infections. These people are infectious. The mindset is infectious. The victim mentality is an absolute fucking poison, and it comes in many different forms. And you can extract it yourself. If you're not vigilant, it's going to get in. If you're not vigilant, it's going to get in. But if you are vigilant, you can keep it out. And the most important thing is that you keep it out for yourself. But you have to be aware. You have to have your defenses up because it's everywhere. It's very pervasive. It's going to come from family. It's going to come from friends. It's going to come from coworkers. And these are friends that should be ex-friends. They should be distance yourself from this shit. Maybe you can. Maybe you're living with someone who's toxic. Okay, well, you have to distance yourself as much as possible, mentally as well as physically. But you have to remove yourself from that situation and surround yourself and fortify yourself with a proper mindset. And this is up to you. And the more people that do that, the more that's going to spread. And that's how, we can turn this around. It's not going to come from the top down. It's not going to come from TikTok or Instagram. They don't give a shit. They just want their bottom line. They just want to make money on ads revenue. They don't give a shit. They're going to manipulate as much as they're going to manipulate. Big corporations don't give a fuck. Big food, big pharma, they don't give a fuck. They're just trying to make their bottom line. They're just trying to, increase their stock price. No one gives a shit. No one gives a fuck about your health. The medical, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a shit. Not a single fuck. So you have to give a fuck. You have to care. If you don't take care of your health, if you don't do it yourself, then no one's going to do it for you. And if you're outsourcing it to all this bullshit, then you're going to get jerked around and you're going to become the bait. You're just going to become cannon fodder. And you're going to wither away and be miserable and then die sick and on 15 medications. So you have to care about yourself. You have to take control of it. And if you don't, well, you're going to see what happens. Waiting for this fat acceptance movement. Can't wait for the next 10, 15 years to see how that turns out when everyone's just like, Jabba the Hutt, like, my experience. Fuck out of here, bro.
Go fuck yourself.
All right, let's give away today's Swole card. Yeah, baby. And then we have a little Tainty Man. Oh, Tainty Man. Oh, Tainty Man. Oh, Tantimius Antermank. That's a good Tainty Man. Good boy. You don't shit in daddy's mouth. You don't poop on my face. Ever. Don't fucking side-eye me, bro. Don't eyeball me like that. Fucking eyeball me. You want to go? You want to fucking go, bro? Goddamn right. Close your eyes. Go to fucking sleep. You start shit. Oh, yeah? Oh, dude, did you really just rip again? Or maybe that was like caught under you. What is that? What are you doing, bro? What is it? What the fuck is actually happening here? What are you doing, bro? Parkour. What is this position you're doing? And stretch. He's about to release one. We got to wrap this up because he's about to shit himself. Okay, let's give away today's Swole card. Hashtag Swole Slut Saturday. And make sure, fam, if you're a member, head on over to swolenormousx.com and make sure that you are checking out yesterday's overtime segment and this past Thursday's roundtable. Both those available inside Swole TV. So go and check out those amazing pieces of content. It was fantastic. All right, Swole Slut time. Here we go. Falcon, let's go. Oh my God, are you going to like... I hit the button twice. That was my fault. I hit the button twice, and then... There we go. Hey-oo.
She's a brick house. She's mate, letting it all hang out. And she's a brick house.
Scroll. Do I see? Does that even count as cleavage? Scroll. Round 2. One more time. Keep dropping it. Almost there. 1. Oh, that was a close one. Nope. All right, we got a winner. Landed. We got a winner. Brennan. Congratulations. Who's Brennan? Congratulations. You got a first card. Congratulations, Brennan. I'm calling you B Sleazy. All right, Brennan, congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 2332 in the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email, and we'll send you this Swole card. Fantastic. It was amazing. Yeah, congratulations, Brennan. Send us that email. We'll get you a Swole slut. Are you a Swole slut? Obviously. But we know that, don't we? Congratulations. Fuck this damn dog. You lazy beach. I had to sit in your shit fumes the whole day.
I was kidding! I was only kidding!
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic
We'll take some
things I've
soundboard
ever
requests.
heard.
Let's fucking go.
At no point in your rambling,
Brennan, if you have a
incoherent
soundboard
response
request, you can drop that in
were
the
you
comments.
even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room
What a man
is
calf.
now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I just saw a comment earlier, Lacey. Yes, it is a new braid. It isn't, yeah. Got it cleaned up. Got the beard cleaned up a little bit yesterday. Got the beard done yesterday. A little braid action. Yeah. Feeling sharp. Ooh, loud noises. Good call.
Loud noises! Make sure the make sure you have the record player on at night.
Games.
No more shenanigans, no more tomfoolery, no more ballyhoo.
Well, I could be wrong, but I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Yeah.
As you can see, my nipples have been removed from my body. Where they are, I don't know.
You can be fat and be healthy. I'm sorry, Lizzo, healthier than I will ever be.
You are not. Lizzo's not healthy. She is morbidly obese. She's morbidly obese. OB, he's quick release. No hands. Piano cock. Fucking nailed it. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Fucking nailed it. Yeah, crank that shit up. All right, fam. Thank you for being here. We'll be here tomorrow for Ask Papa Swole Live. Remember, head on over to askpapaswolio.com to submit a question for the show. You can submit an audio recording and call in. Of course, you could be here tomorrow morning and get in on the Ask Papa Swolio Live, the Sunday Funday Red Wine Swole Q&A-ness. It's going to be awesome. And of course, we have our accountability meeting on Monday at 12 noon. So for those of you that live in Florida, get prepared. Make sure you got all your dots and T's and I's and shit crossed and dotted, all that stuff. Be safe and just keep an eye on the weather patterns. But we shall survive and we shall continue. If there is, by the way, if there is any kind of like major issues, as long as cell towers go, and if we don't have power for whatever reason, we'll just have private Q&As and stuff for the Swole fam. So make sure if you're not a member, join the fam today, SwoleNormousX.com, because anytime we will just do it. We'll keep on going. We're not stopping the Daily Swole. So make sure you get access to all the private live streams and join the fam, SwoleNormousX.com. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow for 2333 tomorrow. Peace, McGee's, Deuce, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Oh.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stocks crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint. We go hard in the paint. What the fuck is you saying? What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element.